Christian Owen says news that 1.6 illegal immigrants have left is massive. Approximately 1.6 million people without legal immigration status have left the United States since the start of the Trump administration, according to Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. In less than 200 days, 1.6 million illegal immigrants have left the United States population. This is massive, Trump said in a social media post thanking President Donald Trump. She added that the decrease would yield safer streets, reduced taxpayer spending, less burden on schools and hospitals, and improved job prospects for Americans. The figure comes from a report by the Center of Immigration Studies, CIS, a group that supports lower immigration levels but has acknowledged its estimate may overstate the decline. The Department of Homeland Security said the claim is based on CIS's analysis of data from the current population survey administered by the Census Bureau and Bureau of Labor Statistics. The CPS, which is not Child Protective Services, it's Current Population Survey, collects information on birthplace and citizenship, but does not ask respondents about immigration status. CIS notes several caveats in its methodology. It said increased enforcement measures may have led to fewer immigrants responding to the survey, possibly exaggerating the apparent drop. The center also said its data on legal immigration through July 2025 is incomplete, adding further uncertainty to the estimate. But even if it's not 1.6 million people, even if it's not that many, it's still probably in the ballpark of a million people. Even if they're off by a factor of a third, that's a million people who have remigrated. People that have decided to either go home or go somewhere else. Not America, not staying here. We're going to get deported. So thank God for that. This is very good news. Glad to see that. Make sure you're commenting in the live chat or commenting on the video with your thoughts. All right, now, a big story before we close up with some stuff about Beto O'Rourke and just the idiot that he is. We have this headline: U.S. military deploying over 4,000 additional troops to waters around Latin America as part of Trump's counter-cartel mission. That is from CNN. But we have other sources backing it up. The Telegraph: Trump sends U.S. Army to fight Mexican drug cartels. Another: U.S. military, this is on Reuters, deploying forces to Southern Caribbean against drug groups. So we're going to be looking at that. And I really do want to hear your thoughts on, do you support this, yay or nay? I'll talk about it in a minute. The extraordinary move has threatened a diplomatic row with Claudia Sheinbaum, the Mexican Sheinbaum, I don't know, the Mexican president, issuing U.S. forces will not enter the country. The directive marks a significant escalation in the president's aggressive campaign against the Latin American cartels, which he has designated as foreign terrorist organizations. Pentagon officials have started looking at plans to target the group, sources told the New York Times. The move opens up the possibility of military operations at sea and on foreign soil against the criminal groups. It also raises legal concerns, such as whether killing criminal suspects outside an armed conflict zone would constitute murder. Responding to the developments, Ms. Sheinbaum said the United States is not going to come to Mexico with military forces. Well, Ms. Sheinbaum, we'll see, because it may be that you don't really have much of a say. We cooperate and collaborate, but there will be no invasion. That is ruled out. We have stated this in all the calls. Yeah, Mexico really cooperates and collaborates with the United States government. Sheinbaum sounds like an absolute idiot. Mr. Trump has been fixated on the idea of launching direct attacks on drug cartels since his first term, when he reportedly suggested firing missiles into Mexico to target the gangs. In April, he asked Ms. Sheinbaum to allow U.S. troops into the country to help fight the cartels. Mr. Sheinbaum, this is Mr. here, I think that was a misprint from Yahoo News. Sheinbaum rejected the proposal, telling Mr. Trump that countries could collaborate, but with you in your territory and us in ours. Mr. Trump said he had suggested the idea because the cartels are horrible people that have been killing people left and right and have made a fortune on selling drugs and destroying our people. Trump has already reinforced the southern border with National Guard troops in an effort to stop drugs such as fentanyl flowing into the country. Well, it's good that he's put National Guard down on the southern border. That needs to be happening. And as a result, we have results, right? Border crossings have gone down by something crazy like 92%. So to read a little bit of the Communist News Network, I will, I'll read it so you don't have to, right? See if I can get this to load. I think I have it ready. Yeah. Natasha Bertrand wrote this on CNN. The U.S. military is deploying more than 4,000 Marines and sailors to the waters around Latin America and the Caribbean as part of a ramped up effort to combat drug cartels, two defense officials told CNN. A dramatic show of force that will give the president a broad range of military options should he want to target drug cartels. So that's a little bit of that article. We also have this for Reuters: U.S. military deploying forces to southern Caribbean against drug groups. So that was this is interesting, and what do I think? Probably a lot of you are thinking, okay, you've been reading about what's going on. You mentioned at the beginning of the show you don't like it. What do you think? This is back to the article by Reuters, and then I'll tell you my thoughts. The United States has ordered the deployment of air and naval forces to the southern Caribbean Sea to address threats from Latin American drug cartels. Three sources briefed on the decision told Reuters on Thursday. And as always, guys, these are going to be on Substack. So Substack is where I put my website for those of you who are not that familiar with me. Go to thefogandthewhirlwind.substack.com/subscribe. Again, that is thefogandthewhirlwind.substack.com/subscribe. It's where I put my sources. So what do I think? Do I support this? Well, you're against illegal immigration, and we know from listening to your show that you're actually opposed to legal immigration too. So it would follow then that you are for this because they're bringing drugs, they're bad people, most of them causing crime and other problems. And even if they're not causing crime, they're mooching off of welfare. So shouldn't you want these cartels busted up and defeated by United States military troops fighting against this cartel? I agree with Scheinbaum, but it's kind of right thing, wrong reason. I don't do this because she's most likely in the pocket of the cartels herself and doesn't want to see the people helping to line her pockets. She doesn't want to see those people destroyed. I oppose the United States military fighting against the cartels because it's not our fight. That's not our problem. And oftentimes people have great intentions, but there's always unintended consequences, are there not?